left me behind. Trading in lots of sheep poo.
Now the site is closed for a couple of weeks. It's plan B or plan C, which is to go home again. Welcome to Escape In The Motorhome.
And if you're new to us, I'm B.
And I'm Daz.
And you're sat with us in Stampy.
Now it's called Stampy because it's short for stamp duty.
We'll tell you about our origin story in a few weeks when enough people care. But all you need to know is that it's the money that we would have spent on stamp duty had we moved, which was the plan a couple of months ago.
Sure.
If you look around our motorhome right now, it looks like a 1980s nightmare, but rest assured it is not that old.
The van itself is only 12 years old. It's Caravans International Carioca 706, built on a...
It's a mouthful, isn't it?
No, the van is actually... Right. The van is a 2012 Caravans International Carioca 706.
Easy for you to say.
Yes, built on a Fiat Ducato chassis.
It has 18,000 miles on the clock.
Now, when we insured the van, the insurers asked us how many miles we were going to do a year. I optimistically said 10. He said the average is 5. So I went with 8, and as far as I'm concerned, that's our challenge.
We're going to smash that. At the moment, we're trying to personalise our van. Even though it looks a little bit 1980s, we're trying to make it a bit more our own. So we've got a few bits of
sorry, Pete. And on that subject, what's that?
Oh, that's Neil Hannon.
And why is Neil coming with us?
Because he's the patron saint of travellers. So I've heard. Yeah, as well as being an amazing musician and really good-looking guy, he's. And the National Express, it's the theme tune for the Camping and Caravan Club. And he's a talisman, you know? Comes with us everywhere.
Right. If Neil's coming with us, I'm going to pick someone to come with us.
Oh, did Daryl say that? Don't listen to him, he talks
Now, some people say, I like talking kit. So welcome to this section of the channel, Daz Talks Kit. In this video, I'm going to talk you through our purchases, some old, some new. Today, I've got 2 for you. First off, hookup cable, essential. Now, this retails online brand new for anywhere between £1 to £2 a metre. I got this little beauty, which is 22 metres for £15 from a couple who have been caravanning for 30 years and having a clear out. Great value. My new purchase was camping chairs. Now, I've gone for steel because they're cheaper, but do rust. The other option is aluminium, but they're £40 upwards. These ones from a local supermarket were £15, reduced to £10. Easy to set up. Bag is paper thin, so that probably won't last, but great for all the kids. That's all for now. More kit next time. On our last escape, I spectacularly failed to fill up the cold water tank. This time round, I'm too lazy to go and get the hose, so I'm going to try some other methods. Okay, I'll get the hose pipe. Here we go. Still the one light. Let's keep going. Hooray! Finally, we get the green light.
Oh no! I've just dropped my margarine! All of this is of course essential for an overnight stay. Strawberries, ice cream, Swiss roll and carver.
Wait, did it go on the
Thankfully, it's got a cover on it. That just sums up our week this week.
The entrance to the road we intended to park on was closed, so we followed the signs round to the Stonehenge car park. That too was closed. I jumped out and spoke to the security guard to find out what was going on. It's all closed off because they get thousands of people come here, and before the event they have to evict all the people who practically live on the road we plan to park on.
No.
They've all been evicted and it's now clear, but now the site is closed for a couple of weeks.
I see.
To avoid thousands of people coming here. They're going to come here anyway.
Yeah.
And then the gentleman said that they practically live here. It takes them ages to get rid of them. So he said we're a day too late. If we'd come here yesterday, then we probably could have stayed down there, but we can't at the moment. So it's plan B or plan C, which is to go home again.
No, we'll park for the night. There's plenty around
Another
here.
gentleman's just walked up, an American guy who's just driven 2 hours to see the stones. And
oh no. Well, much as I like looking at you in silhouette, dear, get in the car and we'll go and find somewhere else and park for night. Well, once again, we've drawn a blank, another road closed, but just a little bit close to the summer solstice. Some thinking time now, so it's ice creams and mobile phones whilst we decide our next plan. We're going to go and see if we can find Stonehenge, but you can never just leap out of the vehicle and go. It always takes a little while to get shoes, coats, everything on. So spontaneity is virtually impossible. They've left me behind. This was not supposed to be a running day. Well, this is a rather disappointing sight. Just left on this beautiful path. A barbecue. I mean, how hard is it to find a bin? So this is a National Trust pathway, so it's free to walk through here. It's 9 o'clock at night. We found somewhere to park nearby and we are going to be able to walk right up to the stones, and we haven't paid anything. Obviously you don't get to see the visitor centre, but this is pretty good. We actually did a visit here with English Heritage as home educators about a year ago, and it was really good. The brand new visitor centre is excellent. You can find out a huge amount of information. There's speculation about the intention of the stones from 5,000 years ago, but it's interesting to see that you can get really, really close to the stones without paying a penny. This time of night they've got security guards just keeping an eye on everything. Now I don't think we're climbing over the barbed wire. We are not Steve McQueen, and you do not have a motorbike, and you're not being chased by the Nazis. There are two types of stones used at Stonehenge. The larger sarsens, which are local from Marlborough Downs, and also the smaller blue stones, which are from Wales. They would have had to haul them across the land. How on earth did they do that? There was no mechanical way of doing it. This is 5,000 years ago. There are lots of henges in Britain, but Stonehenge is not one of them. There is one near Avebury. We're walking along and treading in lots of sheep poo at the moment. It's a bit uneven. If I fall over in a moment, I haven't been on the carvers, I promise. A henge is actually a raised earthwork with an internal ditch, and Stonehenge's is external, so it's not a henge. Sad times. In the 1800s, Charles Darwin actually did some work around Stonehenge. He did some excavations to find out why the stones were sinking, and he discovered that it was actually the earthworms that were causing the stones to sink. How bizarre is that? They basically just told you to get lost. Do you remember seeing loads of the photographs, the black and white photographs? Yeah. That's because you used to be able to walk all over the stones and climb on them and chip bits off of them. So in the 20th century they really were in a bit of a state. And it's only been in the last few decades where they've really looked after the place.
On our way back, we realised the track we had followed from the van down to the stones was actually the road we were trying to get to earlier. The scorched patches on the grass were from the campers and motorhomes that had been moved on because of the summer solstice, the longest day of the year, happening in 5 days' time.
I'm wondering whether that's all the mums and dads going, come on, come back in, fun's over. It's been important for you. It's a baby deer. He's moving. There you go.
In 200 yards, your destination will be on the left.
Unfortunately, the site was closed. We've learned you can't always rely on these wild camping spots, so always have a backup plan ready. Wow, what a strange evening it's been so far. After the disappointment of being able to stay overnight at Stonehenge, we jumped on the Park for Night app and we found a couple of places. We headed to one that was close to Salisbury. Unfortunately, it's closed. We drove round to the park and ride signs on the off chance, and sure enough, the barriers are open. The ticket machines have been kicked to death and just on the floor, so there's nothing to stop us coming in. There looked to be two security guys, so we circled and we're trying to find our way out when one approached us, and I thought, oh no, here we go. So I said to him, how'd you get out of here? And he said, oh right, if you want to get out, it's like this and this. And I said, we're just trying to find something for the night. And he said, well, if you want to stay, you can stay up this end, but this end of the car park is reserved for film crew for the Bridgerton series, which is filming at Wiltshire House just down the road. So although there's no trucks here now, he said come the morning it should be full, but as it is, we've got overnight security for free and somewhere to stay for the night, not too far from home. It's going to be another early one in the morning because we've got to get Indy back for his paper round at 7. Short and sweet. Cheers.
Cheers. We're going to go to bed. It's really late.
Yeah, the kids have just got themselves into the bunk up front. The van's all secure, I hope. We've got our nighttime security. And there goes an alarm.
What's that? No idea.
They think it might be one of the boys' farts setting the alarm off.
It could be the fire alarm. Battery thing.
If the next shot on this vlog is daylight, we survived.
Well, we're at the Wilton Park and Ride, and just at 6 o'clock in the morning they've got their public toilets open. It's lovely and clean. I'm amazed. Morning, dear.
Morning.
How you feeling?
Right, good.
Yeah, that's a nice facility, isn't it?
I found them okay.
Yeah, I'm impressed.
Like,
Really nice.
reckon we can empty our cassette in there.
Yeah.
Is it flushing, unlike the men's toilet?
Yeah, it's definitely flushing. So yeah, we've been reading about getting rid of your toilet cassette this morning, and it's really important that you put your black waste into the sewage system. It can't just be thrown out if it's got chemicals in. So we're going to try and be responsible this morning. And then I'm drawing the short straw.
Yes, the honeymoon period is quite clearly over for us in terms of the bathroom. So earlier on today, our little red light appeared, meaning it's full up, and just for fun, one of the little boys, just before we set off, went to the toilet and left the trap open. So we drove for an hour with the most pungent of aromas amongst the van, with the windows down and everything else. We should have just stopped and checked, but there we go. So myself and B are going to brave emptying this for the first time. Yeah, I've heard some real horror stories of people emptying their cassettes at a service station in a queue and then accidentally going over their feet in front of everybody. It's probably the height of shame, really, showing your tummy shames in public. So we've chosen to do our first empty at home.
What could go wrong? Oh dear.
So you spin this.
You look like you're at the end of a very good evening, just kneeling in front of the porcelain like that.
And spin this little eye around like that. Now.
By the way, people that are watching, this is not a how-to video. This is
This is
our first time. Watch us mess this up royally.
This is a discovery.
You just run your fingers through your hair, babe.
It might stay up. The Capus.
You got the window open yet?
The bog of eternal stench from Labyrinth. Okay, don't look down.
Okay, bit of
A
splash.
bit of blue liquid on the floor.
Yeah, all over the white skirting.
Apparently
That'd
this
be fun.
goes. I'm going to touch my face then.
Yeah, stop touching your face.
As I lift it, I've got to click this button, and that lets it all come out. So, a firm grip. Oh my god. I'm glad we've got a massive toilet that we can do this. Oh my god, the smell.
Warning! The following audio contains too much information. Those with weak stomachs should cover their ears now.
Right, so it starts to pull. That's what the handle does. And then it's green and splashy. And it's going on forever.
The previous owners definitely cleaned this out, didn't they?
That was like a giant elephant wee that you see at the zoo.
Oh, the relief.
Oh my god. Definitely some semi-solids coming out the end there, Phoenix.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Oh, splashback. This room couldn't have got enough ventilation if it tried. Oh god. You know, like when you've been sick after a big night out,
okay,
and then you get another wave.
I have a feeling we're going to have some unpleasant comments about this. It was just too much information, too many sound effects.
It's just going and going.
It's just reaching me. The sound's just reaching me. Some people say the grey race is worse than the black race.
That's going to stay with me a long time. The view's not so bad.
Yeah. Some people say that the kind of the smell is drowned out by the chemicals, but maybe we were. Oh yeah, it's really hitting me now. I'm glad we've got the front door open too.
17 litres, so about 100. Mix it with 3 litres of water. We've got a 2 litre bottle. Right? Are you filming?
Yeah, yeah. It's quite funny because it looks like the theory of everything.
So, having emptied that in our own toilet, I think the consensus is that the cloud kicked up by it means it's not something you could just pop into your local Asda and do in their toilet or a public toilet, especially not during the day if it's full of people. So now we've done that, we've rinsed it twice. We've got some Elsan organic toilet flush, and we've got a Thetford C200S, which looking online is a 17 litre capacity, which seems strange because if you've got a 6-berth motorhome, you'd think the cassette would be larger, but to be honest, when that was full, that was quite heavy. So without any wheels or a pull handle like I've seen on some, that's about 17 litres of water is 17 kilos, so that's enough really. You don't want to drop that. Now I'm going to use the cap to measure out Okay, that's a bit more flowery than the last one. Down in one, down in one. There you go. Looks like black as tar, doesn't it?
Oh, Daz, don't.
Okay, that goes in. We've got to mix that with a certain level of water, 3 litres.
3 litres of water. Okay.
So out of that 17, we've already lost 3
Okay.
to water. And then we'll pop it back in. Job
Jobs are
done.
good.
Thanks for watching. See you on our next escape.